The D&D fighter is the staple of all tabletop role-playing games, sometimes called the grunt, soldier, cannon fodder, tank, or so on. But we're not talking about the base class today. Instead, we are talking about the fighter's subclasses. More specifically, the champion. I've played D&D for several years, and my first ever character I made was a half-orc barbarian. But then, my second character that I made was a dragonborn fighter. I love the class ever since. But there's something that has been bothering me a lot. See, you have subclasses like the Eldritch Knight, a martial spellcasting class that mixes powerful spells of the wizard and the martial prowess of the fighter. The Battle Master, who is able to do insane and spectacular maneuvers to gain the advantage over their opponent at a moment's notice. Then there's the Champion, the subject of today's video. The champion's description reads as follows. The archetypal champion focuses on the development of raw physical power honed to deadly perfection. Those who model themselves on this archetype combine rigorous training with physical excellence to deal devastating blows. And in gameplay, that is half true. See, the way subclasses are made is they focus on a single mechanic and then follow through with features that are supposed to enhance the subclass for that mechanic. This goes for most of the subclasses, letting you gain the special features of the class at level 3, then another at the 7th level, 10th, 15th, and then finally 18th level. And that's usually how it goes. But I have a small gripe with the champion. First up, the very first feature that you get at level 3 is improved criticals. The description for improved criticals is as follows. Beginning when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, your weapon attacks score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. And this is good. A really good feature. But it's not enough. Then you have Remarkable Athletes, which I really like. It's a really good feature. You can use half of your proficiency bonus to strength or dexterity checks that don't already use your proficiency bonus, and then on top of that, you can also double your running jump distance if you have enough strength or dexterity. I really like this feature. It enhances the fact that you are honing yourself to become a deadly weapon. Then at 10th level, you gain another fighting style for some reason. Then at 15th, your critical strikes are now more improved by hitting on 18s, which is good. Then finally, at 18th, you gain a form of regeneration. If you are below half health, you could use your constitution modifier plus 5 to heal that amount every turn at the start of your turn. And that's the champion. Do you see my problem yet? Let me say it again, just in case if you missed it. Focuses on raw physical power, focused to deadly perfection. And yet I don't see any of that within the features or powers of the subclass. So today, I'm going to take a crack at remaking and redesigning the champion fighter, and give you all what my version of the champion should look like. So, for the champion, I will be going over my gripes and personal nitpicks/opinions about the class, and then give you solutions to my problems with it. And if you like my version of the subclass, hey, I hope you enjoy the Google Doc I'll leave in the description for you. Starting off with my first problem of the champion class, it feels empty. For a subclass chasing physical perfection to hone deadly blows, it falls off very quickly. So to fix this, instead of the usual amount of features in the subclass, I've added 2 more. One at 5th level and then another at 8th level. And I've reworked the other features due to them just not fitting thematically with the subclass. So first up, at 3rd level for my champion, I've swapped the 7th level feature and improved criticals instead. I also reworked how Remarkable Athlete works. So starting at 3rd level, you gain the Remarkable Athlete feat. First, your movement speed has increased by 10 feet, and you can climb equal to your movement speed now. This upgrades at 5th level, to where you could use your strength modifier to add feet to a running jump, where +1 modifier would equal to 5 feet. And finally, at 7th level, difficult terrain no longer slows you. I thought this would be a great buff to the Remarkable Athlete for one. It fits thematically with the subclass, and mechanically it shows the progress of honing your warrior senses and powers to become a powerful fighter. Then at 5th level, I've added a new feature I called Honed Warrior. At 5th level, you gain the ability to add either your dex or strength modifier to your overall damage once per short rest. To fit this in thematically with the subclass as well as mechanically, this is all what the champion is supposed to be about. Honing your strengths into dealing the one deadly blow. Then you have improved critical. Originally, it just allowed you to hit crits easier, so to keep in theme, here's what I did instead of the original. Starting at 7th, you've seen more weaknesses to exploit on your enemy. You can mark an enemy now to fight. Any marked enemies that you fight, you can hit crits easier with 19s and 20s. This then later upgrades at 11th level to 18 and up, and furthermore at 15th level, 17th, and 20th level. So by the time that you hit level 20, you should be hitting crits on a 15 on the dice and up. I thought improved criticals by itself was a little lackluster. So, to keep with the theme of my version of a champion, I gave it to the mechanic of you marking an enemy to death, which allowed easier critical hits against those enemies. 2 feats that upgrade along with the campaign that just gets better as a warrior constantly improving would do so. Now at 8th level, here is Improved Edge. Now instead of once per short rest, you now have 3 charges to your Honed Warrior feature. And now you may add a proficiency bonus along with your strength or dexterity modifier for an overall boost to your damage. At 11th level, you gain Expert Training. You gain the ability to gain mastery abilities of 3 weapons of your choosing in the martial genre. And then you could choose 2 skills that you're already proficient in to take expertise in. Now I felt that at 11th level, the original champion didn't have enough to kind of fill out the bones. So, in order to stick thematically and mechanically with what a champion is supposed to do and supposed to be, I instead just outright got rid of the secondary weapon fighting mastery. Because that, in its core, for the champion, it doesn't make sense. So instead, to fit in both with 2014 rules and the 2024 rules, I've given, at 11th level, the Expert Training feature, which is mastery abilities of weaponry, because all the proficient weaponry things that you can have is a lot of fun. And then the 2 skills to take expertise in is also really good, allowing you to double your proficiency bonus in those skills is really, really, really good. At 15th level, you gain the Pinnacle feature, so you can now cast your Mark for Death on up to 3 enemies at a time instead of just the 1. And then you are also able to, once per long rest, double the damage dice on 1 attack of your choice. And to kind of fit that in, again, you're starting to near the pinnacle of your class and becoming the warrior that you were meant to be, honing yourself for deadly perfection, to hit hard and to hit for that one deadly blow, as the description of the subclass is giving you, honing yourself to a deadly perfection. And then finally, at 18th level, Mastery over Death. You gain complete mastery over the single death strike. Once per long rest, you can consume a mark on an enemy to double your dice amount for damage. So, in my mind, you're finally at the pinnacle of being a champion. So in order to kind of fit that in thematically, you want to hit the guy once and you want to hit him hard, so that you don't have to fight him for a long period of time. So I thought this could kind of fit in with the previous features of the class, to where once you mark somebody for death, you can hit them hard for an easy crit on a 15 or up, and then you could just consume the mastery, or the mark of death, to essentially double your damage dice, and then you could do that again with the pinnacle features. So now instead of like 2d6, you're now hitting them for 8d6, and plus whatever your damage bonus is to that weapon, and that's not to mention if the weapon is magical or not. And that is my fighter champion. I really hope you enjoyed my redesign of D&D's champion, and if you want any more redesigns, please suggest a subclass for me to redesign later in the future. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next case. Bye-bye.